Time now for some Southern Fried Sports reporting on the Matt and Todd Show with Big Matt and Diamond Dean.
Good evening, everybody. What's going on? It's Big Matt, Diamond Dean. It's Matt and Todd Show. How's everybody doing this evening? Hope everybody's doing well. It's cold and snowy this weekend. And then it's 70 and weather's changing again. It's going to be
I didn't realize how much rain we got.
It's a lot.
You know, we were kidding the other night about not getting a 2-hour delay. We didn't even go to school that next day.
Now, our guys, we were on a delay, 3-hour delay.
Today?
Yeah, well, yeah.
We were on a 2 today and didn't even go yesterday.
No, they went all day today. It was normal hours. But that Thursday, we were 3-hour delay.
Well, my daddy was like, we got in the hallway, you know, Thursday morning. It was that bad. And I'm like, well, I didn't even wake up. I don't know. I mean, did you know it was that bad?
No, I didn't. I sleep well through storms.
Okay,
They don't bother me.
too.
I just really don't. So this week, guys, we are going to be breaking down college hoops. We're going to talk about Bama, Kentucky, Auburn. We're going to do where'd your team finish up in recruiting? Talking about Georgia, Auburn, Bama stuff. The money deal with Dak. What's the deal with him? His deal. He's trying to work something out. I got some notes about that. Dates for your NFL free agencies and combine draft stuff. Review for our Super Bowl picks that we
Big
picked
Super Bowl
last week. 31-20 was final on that.
I missed.
And then we're going to do a way too early pick for next season and talk about who we kind of like. Maybe not Super Bowl,
Just to go.
but just a good idea of
Who's going to be good.
Yeah. So what we got was who's Kentucky play last?
Well, college basketball, though, obviously I'm going to give a little bit about the nation, but right now Baylor's number 1 in the country.
So they're still one.
Baylor, Gonzaga, Kansas, San Diego State, Louisville. That's the top 5. And the only guy, nobody in the SEC in the top 10. Auburn's not even in the top 10. They're 11th. But now last week, Auburn had a very good week. They beat Arkansas in overtime, and they beat Kentucky 75-66. Now my uncle, I'll say this, he is a Kentucky fan, but he said that he read an article that the calls in Auburn were awful.
Oh.
Very, very biased. I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, so home cooking, whatever, but they did win, both of them. They beat Kentucky and also beat Arkansas in overtime. I said Mississippi State. Kentucky come back and beat Mississippi State Wednesday night. And Alabama didn't have too good of a week. They lost to LSU 90-76 and lost to Tennessee 69-68, but they had a 15-point lead.
I heard
in the first half.
Pearl talking about LSU, I guess, yesterday.
LSU's best team in the conference.
I know. He said the way they match up coming down the court, because of the way Auburn tries to play, they try to single out those players when Auburn has the ball.
Right.
He said the way they match up and come down the court and play defense, man, they're great. They're fantastic. They're hard to match up to come down and try to set and run your picks and run your plays and stuff. He said it's very, very difficult. LSU is very good defensively. They really break down and play D on them.
I haven't watched. The only 3 I've watched is the 3 we discussed. LSU's leading the conference. They were 8-0, but lost to Vandy the other night, 99-90. And right now, if this tournament started right now, there would only possibly be 4 SEC teams in the field of 68.
Wow.
Florida.
They're always good.
5. Florida, LSU, Kentucky, and Auburn. No, 4. Alabama.
Yeah.
If it starts right now, they're not going to make it.
Probably not.
They're 12-10. Kentucky and Auburn. Obviously, Auburn's won 20 games and lost 2.
I think Bama's significantly better on in situations. I've watched them play some more. It seems like they have added an extra wrinkle to try to keep up. And I know they got a new coach. We talked about Coach Oates and his background stuff in the last show or 2. And go back and listen to that, guys.
Well, they shoot 25 threes a game.
Yeah.
I mean, so they hit a lot of threes. And I do think they will be better with this guy. But it's a slow start.
Okay.
Don't look like they're going to make it.
It's February, so we got another
month.
Over a month.
Over a month.
Yeah. For March. Any of that even starts.
I think it starts in the middle.
We're going to keep you guys up to date on that. What's going on with kind of the basketball teams that y'all watch. We don't do a whole lot of it because we know it's not super big around here. Most people want to hear real college football fans. And NFL somewhat too.
Well, we're going to keep you updated on Auburn and Alabama, obviously.
Yeah, right.
And we'll probably talk about Kentucky because that's who I pull for.
Yeah.
And they're good.
Yeah,
I mean, let's
they're
just
always
face it,
talked
they're-
about because the coaches and
they're
whatnot.
good.
So, talking about college, where does your team finish in recruiting? We both got a lot of stuff here. Looks like Georgia's going to wind up finishing number 1.
Dogs.
They have 5. They're going to have 4 5-stars. Jackson Muschamp. Todd and I researched this guy last night. I could find very little about him, but here's what I do know. He played at Hammond High School. They were the Skyhawks, which is in Columbus, South Carolina. He won't report to Georgia till after graduation in May. Jackson is a 3-star, as he's listed on 24/7 Sports. He runs a 4.8. He's 6'1", 190. From what I watched of some videos of him there at the high school, and they played a lot of religious schools, private schools.
Private schools.
Seem like they're
Christian schools,
in Columbus, South Carolina. So he's got a good over-the-top release. He scrambles a little bit, but by the scores, I would look up who they were playing, and man, they're beating these people like feature nothing. So I don't know how well I can judge Jackson Muschamp, which is Will's son. He said he was excited to come to Georgia. He was heavily recruited by Colorado State. They almost pulled him, but when
That's where Bobo was.
But when Kirby calls, man, I mean that's where your dad and this whole group of people there, he's where he wanted to go. So he's going to Georgia, and another quarterback, Jamie Newman, the dual threat guy from Wake Forest, 6'3", 219.
I didn't realize he was that big. Now, I've not saw him play, but they say he's pretty good.
I watched the video on him last night too. He has that Michael Vick quick twitch. If it's not there, he'll squat down and he'll, you can see his eyes. He'll squirt around there and get out of trouble.
Well, that's not the question. The question is, do you think he's better than Fromm? And what does Big Mike think?
Sure. I'm probably Big Mike's not a huge fan of Fromm, and probably a lot of the Georgia fans are glad that he's moved on.
Yeah, okay. So you think Newman will be just as good as Fromm?
I think he'll be better.
Better than late Fromm, not early Fromm.
Yeah, well, and with a new coach, they're going to have that offense is going to change somewhat too. So
They're going to throw it around more.
yeah. What else? Do you have anybody on Georgia?
Broderick Jones, that 300-pounder for Lithonia, Georgia. I mean, they're really talking about him. That was the headline.
6'3",
that was the headline guy.
300 pounds, offensive tackle. Now they got 2 running backs: Kendall Milton from Clovis, California, and Dejon Edwards from Moultrie, Georgia. They picked up 3 wide receivers: Todd, Justin Robinson, Marcus Rosemary from Florida, and Jermaine Burton from California.
Getting them California players. Alabama gets a lot of California
Well, I mean,
players.
UCA's not going to recruit. UCA.
Well,
USC ain't going to recruit them, or UCLA, I guess not either. And Oregon is doing pretty good. I think they wound up finishing 17, I think, in the. So
Did you not tell me that USC finished last in the Pac-12?
yes, they were also 50th in the nation's recruiting list. Now, Bama finished second. They have 3 5-star players, and they had a load of 4-star players, a lot of 4-stars. Now, wide receivers are Javon Baker from Georgia, defensive tackles, Jamie Burritz from Georgia. They got a corner, Jaquiz Robinson from Florida. The linebacker guy, Jackson Brayton, he's from here in Alabama. We've talked about some of these guys before on a few shows ago. If y'all are listening now, guys, you can go back in our vault, go to our Facebook page. Probably show number 6, I think, was a big, heavy recruiting show that we did.
Yeah. Well, now, tell me if I'm wrong. Obviously, the 2 big picks are the Anderson guy, the weak side defensive end. Of course, Bryce Young from California, and Drew Sanders.
I didn't even put Bryce Young on here, Todd.
That's number 1 athlete. Drew Sanders is the number 1 athlete in the United States.
Yeah, he's my pick. He's the guy I picked on the show a few weeks ago. I like him. His size. He's the one I bust up about. Kick it, run it, throw it, catch it.
This would be like Waddle.
This cat can do everything.
Yeah.
He's very talented. Now, Jason Jones' kid, that's the guy we talked about on the Facebook Live. We thought we had him hemmed up through Freddie Roach, but we lost him to Oregon. he had an injury. Is what happened. They were going to blue shirt him, so he felt like he just fell off the map at Bama because he got hurt, and they did pull back from him, which is part of college football. I think from a few comments I read, he feels a little slighted. He feels a little aggravated that Bama kind of.
So he's going to Oregon now.
Yeah. So good luck to him. But this cat from Hueytown, Todd, 5'10", 202, Rodell Williams. Remember me talking about him the first time we pulled
the
him up?
6,000-yard rusher, huh?
Todd, dude, this guy has got 6,000 yards rushing. He's got 84 touchdowns, 70 catches, with 700-plus yards in receiving. He was first-team All-State Class 6A in 18 and 19. 6,000.
So he probably did most of that his last 2 years.
But what I didn't know last show was how many catches he had. He got over 700 yards receiving.
You don't see that out of high school back.
And he has a stat for throwing a touchdown. He has like a few throws.
He punt too.
This he was something else. Auburn finished in 7. They had a tight end, the Brandon Frazier kid. I liked him. He's from Texas. And the defensive end, DeAndre Butler from Kansas. And Zach Walker from Georgia is another defensive end. This is the cat that had 145 tackles, 43 for a loss as a junior and senior years. He didn't even play. He didn't play, or they didn't have stats for his freshman and sophomore year.
He had 43 tackles his last 2 years combined.
For a loss. 145 total.
Wow, that's pretty good. I mean, you don't hear
like
that
75 and 70. I mean, come on, 70 tackles in a season. Now this guy plays. You know what? They play big football over there.
Oh yeah,
they got receiver
big time football.
Kobe Hudson, and then I tried to find some more about their quarterback, Shalil Garrett. He's from Florida, 6'2", 205 pounds. His senior year, he thrown for 2,000 yards, had 18 touchdowns, had a little over 330 rushing.
Now they're excited about him because they're going to have a solid backup.
Yeah.
But he may push for playing time. And obviously, with what happened with Boobie Whitlow the other day, we can figure that they're planning on playing Tank Bigsby.
I didn't put him on here neither. I mean, he's just you don't even have to talk about him.
No. He's pretty awesome. Man, what about Tennessee finishing 10?
I know. I think that's good. That really helps add to the program.
Wow, Jeremy Pruitt getting it done down there. They looked a lot better towards the end of the year, too.
Yeah, you could tell he's getting his hold on the team.
He is.
And his personality, because kids and the teams follow their coach's personality.
He's kind of rough. That's good.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
They need that right now. Tennessee's been in a bad spot for 20 years, man. They are just terrible. It's kind of like when Auburn went through a bad spell, with Bama all those years, and Bama was on probation, and Auburn jumped on them there for 4 or 5 years. It's not a rival anymore. It stops being a rival.
Right.
Right.
It's kind of returned back to it now.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Or we're hoping it does. We're hoping the Tennessee game turns back into.
I mean, like Tennessee, Kentucky, that's a good game of football.
It is,
we like to see those kind of games. Here's something else we got down, some NFL dates to watch. February 23rd through March the 2nd, guys, is the scouting combine. It's going to be at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. The 25th is the day they're going to have the franchise tag, which some people think they're trying to put the tag on Dak Prescott. March the 10th begins the transition into the next season. April 6th, new coaches can start their off-season workouts. So, Coach Rule.
April 6th. Well, they get a lot of time off, don't they?
Coach Rule there at Carolina can
start
his team
started.
Joe Brady down there with him at Carolina. And let's see, the 17th, we're going to have a deadline. That's the deadline for free agency. The 20th, other teams then can start their workouts. All those teams have the same coaches. The 23rd to the 25th, that's draft day. We're going to keep eye on that. We're going to be covering.
April.
Yeah, we're going to be covering
25th.
all that stuff and give you a heads up what's going on.
Do you get into the draft?
I do. I try to keep up with it. So now, Bama is going to have their pro day March 24th, which is when Todd's going to work out. Auburn is March the 9th. And I looked on somewhere last night, and I read that Georgia's was March the 9th. I had read the 20th. Last year it was the 21st, and I read another place, so it's going to be March the 14th. Well, I can't find that. I've looked at 2 or 3 different places, and I've seen 2 different dates. So it's usually after practice. It's usually after when spring football's starting, they do the NFL stuff.
Well, the reason I asked about the pro draft, I heard a guy on the ESPN say one time that he would go home and get on the couch and stay for 3 days and watch the draft. Are you that into it?
Kind of, sort of.
But he said he just loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, that was his best
I
time
really
of
enjoy
year.
watching it, especially when Bama has a lot of players. I really do. I really enjoy watching it.
No, they usually do.
Speaking
Just
of
to be
guys
honest.
working out and running and getting faster, Todd, you ever hear anybody tell you, man, I'd like to get big and strong, but nobody wants to lift no weights, Todd.
No.
People don't want to lift no weights.
We
but
just
if-
want it to happen.
But you have to go get it. So if you want to go get it, guys, Warrior Gym, Center, Alabama, go see my buddy Jonathan Kendricks over there. We run his ads and stuff during the show and stuff, and give him a shout out. They got memberships as low as $15 a month, and you can get tan. We need to get you to work on your tan a little bit. And get you
I got
ready
a good
man.
tan, man.
It's only $25 a month. Cheap.
Well, I got a farmer's tan.
Yeah, I probably got one of them too. Well, guys, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come right back. We're going to talk about Dak Prescott and his deal, and then we're probably going to start talking about our the review of the Super Bowl. So y'all hang in there with us, and Big Matt Diamond Dean will be right back. Thank you.
Did you know Warrior Gym has gym memberships as low as $15 a month and tanning as low as $25 a month? With no hidden fees or headache, this gym is located in the heart of Center at 1118 West Main Street and is a locally owned business. Call or text Jonathan Kendrick today at 256-706-5112 for any info needed. That's 256-706-5112, located at 1118 West Main Street, Center, Alabama. That's Warrior Gym. Join Big Matt and Diamond Dean for sports talk and more on the Matt and Todd Show, right here on WDKR at WDKR.org. Every Sunday night at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time.
Welcome back, everybody. Big Matt and Diamond Dean here, WDKR. Appreciate everybody listening in, watching Facebook. We had a good turnout on our Facebook Live for
Yeah,
a
we
Side
did.
Note show.
We did. That was
really
fun.
appreciate everybody. Go in there and share, man. If you see our show, share the show. Tell your friends about it. Put it on your page, and we appreciate all the comments, man. We got some interaction,
We got
man.
some interaction, yeah.
Ty said something about
Ty Davis
we're
said-
definitely Alabama fans. You
He
see,
said,
he's
take
got
the
that
Alabama stuff out of the thing.
Yeah, and I was like, Ty, it's my house. It's supposed
Yeah, I
to be
told him, I
Alabama
was like,
stuff.
man, he's on me about it. I'm like, it's not my house.
Well,
Can't tell a guy to take his Alabama thing down.
no, we had a good time. We're glad y'all guys are tuning in tonight. And like we said on the live show, we're going to have some talk about the Super Bowl, our scores and picks, and then we're going to say about our way too early picks. So, Todd, the drought is over. 50 years, finally.
For the Kansas City Chiefs, huh?
Yeah. Well, the longest was
Longest 57,
57 years without a Super Bowl win, which was the Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles, 3 years ago. Yeah, I wasn't real. You know who I was for, but hey, Kansas City Chiefs got a great team.
Well, they just kind of did what I had kind of felt that they would do. Mahomes he's a game changer. You just cannot account for the things he can do. Todd, he's a child.
He is
And
24
speaking of
years old.
24. He'll be 25 in like next month or so. But I'll tell you something else that's over. The Madden curse is over.
So what?
Now,
Tell me
finally-
about the Madden curse.
Well, usually when they put a guy on the Madden case for the game, PlayStation, Xbox, the guy never wins the Super Bowl. I mean, it has never happened. I mean, it's just completely true. It's a big curse. Mahomes is the youngest guy to win a Super Bowl. He's 24. He's soon to be 25. Kansas City had 21 unanswered points, right?
Yes,
21
it was
unanswered.
20-10. We thought it was over. We watched it together.
The
Didn't we
49ers,
say it's over?
They played out of character.
We said it was over. I thought about leaving.
Todd, I'd given up on Kansas City. There was at one point I told Todd, I said, if San Francisco scores right here, this ball game's over.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
They didn't
I was
score.
like, there's probably going to be a chance. Well, Jimmy G missed on a deep ball, and 49ers, they looked like the better team, though, for most of the night. But their average was 7 yards a carry. but he had 109 rushing in that third quarter. But Mozart had just had 4 lonely rushes in that fourth quarter. He had 22 rushes the whole game. That's bad news. So inside of 10 minutes into the fourth quarter, there were only 12 passes and 2 runs. Bro,
That's too much.
That's on Shanahan. There's nobody else to blame for that but the guy over there with the clipboard. What kind of stats did Jimmy have?
Well, he was 20 for 31 for 219. I mean, that's not bad stats, but like you said, Mozart didn't have the 58 yards. Deebo Samuel, the receiver, had 53 yards on 3 carries.
Touchdown and 2 picks. Jimmy
G, yeah. He was under a lot of pressure late, too, a ton of pressure.
Well, that's what I was saying. I think it was a sham because the way Green Bay and the 49ers played, it made the 49ers look better than what they were. Mm-hmm. Because I think Green Bay was so bad.
Right. I don't think Green Bay was great.
And Mahomes was 26 for 42 and had 286 passing.
And had 43 rushing, right? And he was under a lot of pressure.
Well, he threw for 3 and touchdowns, had 2 picks.
I'll be honest with you, though, and you may not agree with me, but I thought they put a ton of pressure on him, but I thought late their inability to bring him down killed him.
Well, that's the thing with him. That's why I had to pick them to win because of that. His elusiveness in the pocket. He can feel the pressure, and he can moves up. He moves up in the pocket to make the pass. Mm-hmm. He had a huge run on one of the plays.
Right.
But their passer efficiency was 61 and 64. Which one goes where, guys? What do y'all think? Who would have 64 efficiency and 61?
Well, Garoppolo had 64, right?
Yes.
So he actually had a better game as far as the percentages.
Yes, very true. Well, first things first, 49ers went up first with a field goal, and then later on the game was kind of whatever. And then 2 minutes left in the first quarter, there was on 3rd and 11. Mahomes runs for that, runs for 6, but he gets popped right down there. Remember when he fumbled the ball? They only run in and they set the ball up like on the 3, and then they made it 4th and 1. Williams gets the ball on the 4th and 1. They go with second goal. He runs it over and fakes a little flip out, and it makes it 7-3, which kind of ends that first quarter.
Right, 7-3, and they looked good after the first quarter. I thought Kansas City was in control at that point.
They kind of sputtered, and then they got going, then they failed, then they got going again.
Yeah, I mean, they're strong.
It was a good game.
But the second quarter, I thought San Francisco controlled it. It was 10-10 at halftime, right? Yeah,
well, that's when, later on, Jimmy G remember when they grabbed him? And he just kind of pooches one up in there or something. Just throws up like a dumb duck, and he gets picked where he's getting grabbed. And because that's the thing about him, Todd, he's always good for at least one interception. He's going to mess it up somewhere along the way.
You'd said that before.
That's why I couldn't pick him for the Super Bowl. And I love the 49ers, man. I mean, they were my team as a kid. I loved watching them. I couldn't pick him because of him. I didn't feel comfortable because Jimmy G's just I ain't gonna say he's a loser.
No, he's not a loser.
He's probably he's a great human being, but.
Well, there's nothing wrong with if Mahomes is better than Jimmy Garoppolo, then he's just better. Yeah. And it's natural for you to say, I don't think he can win the Super Bowl. I mean, that's the championship, and it's just hard to do with an average, even a little above average, but not great quarterback.
Yes.
And I tell you one of the reasons, and I'm not taking nothing away from Holmes, but golly, look at his receivers, Watkins and Hill.
Yeah, they really tore it up most part of the night.
They tore it up.
Mahomes, he hit Watkins on a big play, which put him down there at the 25. They ran a little option play on 4th down. They went for several 4th downs. He pitched it to, Damian Williams? He played at Oklahoma. He was undrafted, but old Big Red took him in. Called him a solid assassin. He had 7 first down runs, 2 screens that turned into 2 big plays. Todd, he had 7 first down runs.
Hey, I was wrong. I made the comment that Chiefs can't win it because they don't have a running game. They don't even have a running back. Who is he? And this cat comes out and has 133 yards.
Well,
let me tell you a good story about Damian Williams. Sonaris Perry that played at Chattanooga.
Right.
Okay, so they go to Miami. And Kenyon Drake, who played at Alabama, is their number 1 running back.
Right.
Damian Williams is 2, and Sonaris was 3. So I think that's interesting. Then they brought in Frank Gore and just blowed it all out of the water.
Wow, yeah. But, he's one of the greatest ever, yeah.
But yes, at one point in the season, Those with the 3 running backs and a local guy 23 miles from here. Those was the 3 running backs. And, Williams was considered for a Super Bowl MVP. He was actually considered for that.
Yeah, well, and to be, not even be drafted and then show up here and, just a little guy, seems like he didn't have a lot of base, but his people that raised him kept turning him up and telling him what to do and, trying to inspire him to go on, man. He turned to do a great job. Later on in the game, though, San Francisco had stopped Kansas City with a big hit over a pass over that middle, that one they threw to Williams down there going down. He didn't even knock the ball loose. Well, they kicked it for 3, which made it 10-3 then, so that was like 9 minutes left till half. Well, Samuel and Coleman then come out and just turned the Jets on and turned the running game up. Makes a big throw to Samuel. Then he had a pass to the fullback, Kuschek, for 6.
I can't even pronounce his name.
Kuschek scores that one, makes it 10-10, 5 minutes left in the half. Well, Kansas City had to punt. San Francisco moves the ball down pretty good. There was a big pass to Kettle. That was the one that had the flag for the push-off.
I didn't like it. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
No, I don't. That's not much of a. I've seen more of a push-off that that don't get called.
I'm not saying it would have made a difference in the game. We don't know. They might not have scored. There wasn't much time left, but they could have kicked a field goal. But I don't know. They were just both kind of like this, and he just got some separation from him.
Yeah. I've seen worse push-offs that don't get called. When
gosh, yeah.
What game was we watching? Was it a
Notre Dame?
Game? Where you could see him fully extend his arm, and the guy's arm, you could see him physically move back. I can't see.
I remember we watched Notre Dame one time, and they called a pick play.
It was just terrible.
And they won.
Maybe been an NFL game. You could tell it was definitely he pushed off on him, and they just didn't call it.
They don't call it. Well, they don't call that a lot.
No, they're not. Well, that ended the half. Well, the third quarter kind of rattled and rolled around, and that's when we were kind of eating again, and the game was kind of close. It was 10-10, went at the half. In the fourth quarter, with only 7 minutes left, this is when big things happened. Mahomes, he had hit Hill on that big pass. It was 3rd and 15, huge play. He's running down there and turns around and
he just threw it up.
Yeah, and he's standing down there in the middle of the field. Just puts his hands up and catches and falls down on the ground.
1 year at college. He played 1 year.
I know. How about that? Kids working hard is great, and college is great, but it's not everything.
Sometimes speed works.
working hard at your craft is where it's really at.
Right. Well, he runs a 4.25 40, so that probably helps him a little bit.
That face guard call they got, which set up for the touchdown, that really changed the game.
I liked it. You talking about the one against Kelsey?
Yeah,
I thought it was the right call.
I guess it's the right call, man. I mean, that's what the penalties call for. If he didn't turn around at all and look,
he didn't turn around. Period.
So in that aspect, he didn't. I don't really like it, but it's football, and that's part of it. And
Matt, tell me if I'm right. Had he turned around,
he probably would have picked it off.
It wouldn't have been a penalty.
No,
even if Kelsey had called it. There wouldn't have been. So the only thing, I do understand why it's a penalty, but I do and I don't. So it's basically a penalty because you don't turn around and look.
Yeah, because you're just interfering with the play. You're not trying to play the ball.
You're not trying to play the ball.
I think that's the penalty. That's how everybody confuses it, because you need to turn around and try to play the ball, because the ball is free. When it's thrown, if you want to get technical, we'll go back in time to like Newt Rogney in the jump pass. When the football is thrown, it's a live ball,
Right.
You can't impede the receiver from catching it. However, when the game first started throwing the football, I mean, it's anybody's ball.
I see why it's a call. I do. I mean, I don't have any problem with
But here's the
call.
problem with it,
But
Todd.
it was a turning point.
If you're a 49ers fan, you have a problem with it because it set up a touchdown to put them up 20-17 at that time after that next play.
You could just see the wheels coming off.
Yes, and the 49ers and Shanahan's got to be wringing his hands because he's given up so many points in fourth quarters of games and not scored any, because he did it at the Falcons.
Oh, we don't even want to talk about that.
And he did it again to the 49ers. Shanahan has rung the bell, and he messed the boys out of a Super Bowl. He did. Look,
we may disagree a little. I don't really know. Do you think he blew that Super Bowl?
Absolutely. There's no doubt. When you're the guy and you mess this up, that's on you.
They just went away from the run, they seem to.
That's why.
Well, they threw on
Whose
second
fault is
and
that,
7
Todd?
one
Who
time.
calls the plays?
That's his fault.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
2nd and 7 one time, right?
If you pull out here and turn left because you see a car coming the road and you run head on into him, who's turning the wheel? It's
Well,
on
in
you.
my car, it ain't no telling whose fault it is. But
Well, you probably got some cat food hung under the gas pedal.
yeah, it's not the cleanest vehicle in the world, but
No,
everybody
it's
knows
just terrible.
that, so.
Well, that set up the big play. Well, then Mahomes goes nuts. He throws to Kelsey and to Williams, and then that touchdown. It was 3rd and 10, $1.30 left in the game. Jimmy G misses that big pass down the middle of the field. Ball game.
That wasn't even.
They go for it on 4th. That's when he gets sacked and does the little volleyball crap that he does.
Mm-hmm.
That don't work. So
pretty much game then.
Williams then runs another touchdown to kind of add injury to the wound. Just kind of little poor
I
little
think they
soft.
probably given up by then. Not giving up, but they had their spirit, bro.
Jimmy G throws a pick there at the end. Mahomes gets the ball and he just throwed it to the cheerleader up there on the sideline at the end of the game.
31-20.
I like how
Kansas City Chiefs.
Todd, I watched Mic'd Up last night. Y'all ever watched that? The Mic'd Up sideline stuff? It was Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl Mic'd Up. He was talking the whole game, and when they come out at halftime, I'm pretty sure it was because I was kind of doing notes and talking and watching that too. After halftime, he said, "Stay tuned because this is going to be the greatest comeback ever. People are going to talk about this win. It's 10-10, but it felt like they were losing.
I felt like they were in control. Yeah, I like San Francisco.
I felt like the 49ers were controlling the game. And up to halftime there, he was saying, watch this. We
Well,
fixed to
they
come
were,
back out and do
you
it.
know.
He was yelling at his linemen up down the side. He was believing them, patting them, and keeping them confident. He did a good job, and he's the X factor. He's the reason they won.
Oh,
the game.
he is,
And their
definitely.
defense is a little better. My Chris Jones guy did a good job.
Yes, he did. He did a real good job. Tyrann Mathieu also, he went ballistic on him on the sideline there after the interception, or at some point I think that's when he did, and they just seemed to turn it around after that.
I remember. I remember us seeing that, watching that part.
That was kind of it. They didn't look bad anymore after that.
Well, Shanahan just couldn't close the door. He didn't trust his run game. And another thing that bothers me, this is what I noticed because I watched these little parts of the game. Timeouts.
You just didn't take them.
No. And but Tommy Tuberville is one of the greatest timeout users of all time. Man, that guy was great.
He was a good coach.
Nick's not a good timeout user.
No, not as good as Tommy Tuberville.
Mahomes just saw an opening, and he just took it, man. He found a way to win the game. Their defense stepped up and played. And
The defense did play good when they had to.
How many tackles did I think Jones wound up having?
He had a lot. He played very well.
I think he had like 2, 1 for a loss, and he got after him a couple of times,
Put a lot of pressure on him late.
I think their defense was underrated a little bit, and that's what kind of had alluded to during the season. Now, the halftime scores, I had 20-17 Kansas City, and you had 20-7
wow.
49ers
On the way
at
off.
half.
My prediction just went. I thought the 49ers would come out and smoke them,
hot.
and then they would come back. But it'd be too short. I was way off. It looked like I was going to be right, but I wasn't.
36-31 is what I'd picked for final, and Todd had
Pretty close.
33-24. We were pretty close in our scoring ideas. I think it obviously looks like we felt like they would score a little more.
I thought they would score more. 24-20. Well, we had 31-20, but it's basically 24-20.
I would say 24-20 but that last was a little
That
gimme.
last
Kind of
was
like the
kinda
Trent
heavy.
Richardson score at the LSU game. Remember, LSU
after it
wins
was 14-0
21-0 national championship game. What do we have on our sideline reporter, Big Easy, just told me during the break, NBA trade deadline was today? Yesterday. Who went where?
Well, I got Big E sent me that when we sent him out in the field there. He texted me. Got to send on the wire there. Clint Capella went to the Atlanta Hawks. He's a big man. Played for Houston. I don't really understand why they would have got rid of him. But, that could be good for the Hawks. Hawks are 14-38.
Oh, they're terrible.
Iguodala, who we actually really like, went to the Heat, who are very good. He could help them.
Iguodala went to the Heat.
Yeah.
He can be useful there. His size, he's good on his feet.
Hey, the Heat could push.
He's a rebounder, man. He used to be better. I know he's got a little age on him, but he's still can push people around. I mean, he's that kind of player.
Now, Big Mike, he also sent me some stuff on Boston, and I'm going to go on and call it early. I think the Boston Celtics are going to the championship. Big Mike up in Boston, he just flew up there, and he shot back down here, and he told me that just the atmosphere and everything up there's looking good. So I'm going to go on an early pick. I know this is way out there, but I'm going to go on and pick them to go to the championship. I didn't say they was going to win it.
The Boston Celtics.
The Boston Celtics.
They're going to be able to beat the Bucks.
Yes.
I'm with it. I'm living it now. Everybody, I know Ethan does. I have a Celtics hat. I've been a Celtics fan for many years. I mean, for Larry Bird days. I mean, I think you're insane. But Mike must have bumped his head down the steps when he come up the stairs.
Well, yeah, that's why we pay him the big bucks.
But
I mean,
he's so big, I can't argue with him to his face.
He's like Todd McShay.
So
he's got all the inside information.
He's 6'11", 307.
You talking about Mike?
Big dog Mike.
Well, yeah,
so I can't say it to his face, but while we're on air right now,
he could say the Hawks would win, and I'd say okay.
I just agree with him. I would too. But Celtics, they're not going to be able to get out. I don't think they can get out of that East.
I think they're going, man.
What about the? Is anybody watching All-Star stuff this weekend?
I haven't watched a lot of
dunk contest, or I kind of lost interest in the dunk contest.
Most people I know, and we do the same thing. They don't start watching the NBA. A lot of people around here until it gets to playoff time.
Until March or so next month. Well, let's take another break, Todd.
All right, let's take one.
Get up and stretch our legs. We're going to come back and take our shoes off. We're going to cook some wings and probably going to have some viners cooking here on Open Flames or something.
Well, you got any of that Cajun roast beef?
I do. I have Tony's seasoning, and we're going to cook it up. So let me go get the seasoning, guys. We love you guys. Thank you again for tuning in to WDKR. We thank Shane for all the work he does. We're moving and going places. We got great help, Big Dog Mike and Easy Money. So y'all hang around, man. Come right back, and we're going to talk about our way too early. Way too early. February
I've been getting him on him about this. I'm like, it's too early for this, but he wants to do it, and it's been fun. I'll admit it.
Y'all hang around. I'll be right back. 2 and 2. Thank you.
Did you know Warrior Gym has gym memberships as low as $15 a month and tanning as low as $25 a month? With no hidden fees or headache, this gym is located in the heart of Center at 1118 West Main Street and is a locally owned business. Call or text Jonathan Kendrick today at 256-706-5112 for any info needed. That's 256-706-5112, located at 1118 West Main Street, Center, Alabama. That's Warrior Gym. Join Big Matt and Diamond Dean for sports talk and more on the Matt and Todd Show, right here on WDKR at WDKR.org. Every Sunday night at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Big Matt, Diamond Dean here, WDKR.org. Thank everybody for tuning in, listening in, and watching in. We're having a great time here tonight. We've got our crowd up here jumping around. And
got that deviled ham.
Yes, that was very good.
It was good, man.
What's the deal with Dak? Have you heard anything about his? What do you know about it?
I heard they're fixing to make him the third highest player in NFL history, which I think's trash.
I agree. I don't think it's such a good idea. They finished 8-8, didn't have a good season.
He's great.
Well, Todd France, his agent, they're trying to get a big deal. Looks like they're looking for $34 million, which, like you said, make him the third highest paid player in the history of the game.
History of the game.
Look, when Patrick Mahomes goes to the desk and rolls that checkbook out there, they're going to sign it, but not Dak Prescott. Not that I really have nothing against Dak. I don't think he's a terrible quarterback.
No, he's very good.
But he's not Patrick Mahomes.
Well, I mean, he's not Brett Favre, Dan Marino.
No.
Which they didn't make that kind of money back then. Drew Brees, Tom Brady.
Well, some of that has to do with play calling because I was never.
You didn't like Garrett.
Well, and the guy from Boise State, the quarterback, Moore.
Yeah.
He's staying. He's not leaving. I mean, and so.
Oh, he calls their plays?
Yeah, you know that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I've seen him on the sideline
Talking about out of the loop.
during the year. You know, I was watching him play, and I was like, "That's Kellen Moore. What is he doing?" So I get my phone, look it up, and I'm like, he's off. He's calling plays over there.
No, I did not know that.
For Dak. Yeah.
Huh.
So he's had several comments. It could be franchised, like they do Cousins and them, and I don't know how that's going to work out.
I don't understand all that, to be honest.
Well, to be franchised, when you're tagged, it's the way to control the money. Actually, is what it is, where they don't have to pay you so much money at one time. Basically, what it is, so it's not like a 3-year deal worth so much money, and they break it out into different amounts of money. Like Mahomes may get a 5-year deal for $200 million. He's going to get a record deal. I mean, 220, 240. He's going to get good, and he's just won the Super Bowl MVP.
Right.
He said some stuff like, I'm not done yet, and he's like he's not really proud of how the Cowboys have handled the situation. There's 2 or 3 kind of short, snippy comments. One time he said something that like, it's not the reason he plays the game. It's not for money, but he does have some people working on it. So, like, he's not worried about it. And then he comes back later, a day or two later, and has something else to say.
A lot of that's not really over money. It's over feeling slighted,
Yeah.
I had a great year, and you didn't even give me a raise.
Well, he's 26 years old, and with the new coach McCarthy there running things, I'd assume that he feels okay because of the success that he had there at Green Bay when he helped Rodgers.
He did. They fell out towards the end, but
Yeah.
if you don't know much about the Aaron Rodgers story, he's been falling out with a lot of people. But, well, that's a whole other story. But McCarthy did win a Super Bowl, and he could get Dallas back where they need to be. I hope so.
I think so. And talking about that next year, they did finish 8-8. Dak's not getting a deal right now. Next year they're going to have the Ravens. It's going to be at Baltimore. And they're going to have to travel to Seattle. But they do get the 49ers at home. The Cowboys will. So what kind of season do you think they're going to have?
Well, were we starting over with our early things yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I do think the Cowboys will do good enough to make the playoffs. I do. Now, they may not win their division, but they'll be a wild card. And I also think that the 49ers will be back in. And the Rams, who went to the Super Bowl year before last. I think they're going to be in. I think the Saints are done for now. And, some of that's because of Breeze. Wouldn't you not say? He's getting older.
Saints went 13-14. They lost to the Rams. They lost to the Falcons, 49ers, and lost to the Vikings in the wild card, 26-20. Next year, Todd, looks like the Saints are going to have the Falcons, Packers, Vikings, Chiefs at home. Now, why I mention these homes and aways, because I think in NFL it really does play a big role in wins and losses. It just really does. They will have to. They're going to be a home and away, of course, with the Falcons. Saints always do.
Right. Buccaneers, who are supposed to be good.
They're going to have to travel to Las Vegas to play the Raiders.
Oakland.
No. And
Las Vegas. Okay.
They got to go travel play the Eagles too. Now, I didn't list all their home and away games, but just kind of the teams that are important. Like the Buccaneers are probably not that important to them because I think the Saints will beat them.
I saw one poll that picked them to win their division. But, like I said, I got the Vikings being very good. Philadelphia, they're good. I mean, they're 3 years removed from winning it. Wentz is still a winner. Atlanta played great towards the end of the year. Yeah,
they come on later in the year. I don't hold much faith in them because they're the Falcons, man.
And they lost a ton of games at the end.
I've thrown away Atlanta Falcons. I've thrown away Atlanta Braves stuff for so many years because they irritate me. I was coming home from dinner one night. The Braves lost that last game. Window down, hat out the door. I never bought another Braves hat, and I never will. I can't.
Wait, where were you when you threw that out?
Going past Plant Hammond right there in Coosa.
Okay, well, I found a hat up there one time. You think that was the same one?
You're welcome to it, brother, because I can't pull for them.
They actually hit my car and I run off the road.
They're heartbreakers. That was 1994.
Oh, yeah, that was a tough time. And the Falcons.
That's when you did wreck your car.
Yeah, that was.
That may have been my hat throw.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's weird the things that bring you
Stupid
together.
Ron Gant. Dave Justice at his back.
Speaking of Ty Davis, and he's going to love this story. And it's a
Okay.
Ron Gant story, and it's not inappropriate.
Love Ron Gant.
And Ty, you know we love you. And
Yeah.
he didn't like the Alabama stuff in the bag, but I understand that. He's an Auburn fan.
Yeah.
But he's going to appreciate.
Everybody can't be perfect. That's okay, though, Ty. We love you anyway. We really do.
He's going to appreciate this story. Me and Ty went to a public restroom one time, and Ron Gant was in there
What?
in Panama City, Florida. And we all used the public restroom at the same time.
Did he tell you to keep your eyes on your own plate? Or, I mean, how did y'all start the conversation? So, how's your there, Slugger?
Well, after he got done, I said, "Are you Ron Gant?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm Ron." He was out that year. He was hurt. He was
How
in
about
Panama City. And, yeah, we went up and spoke to him. I don't know if Ty said, "Hey, man, you're cool," or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But Ron Gant.
That's pretty
That's
interesting.
a pretty good story.
We met
and that is a true story. Now, we joke a lot around here. That is an absolute true story.
Me and a couple of buddies met Bobby Cox and Dave Justice and a few other slower players that we didn't know. We met them at the Mexican
met
restaurant. But now the Eagles that you were just talking about, we'll go back to NFL.
Yeah, let's get back. We got off subject there.
That's okay. I think people enjoy that.
Yeah.
The Eagles were 9-8. They lost to the Falcons, Lions, Vikings, Cowboys, Patriots, etc. But the Eagles are going to have the Cowboys, Seahawks, Ravens, and the Saints are going to be at home for the Eagles. They're going to have to go to the Cowboys to have home and away with them. The Eagles are going to have to go to San Francisco and go to Green Bay. The Vikings, you were just talking about earlier, finished 11-7. They lost to the Packers twice, the Bears twice. How did they lose to the Bears twice? When I went back to their schedule, I was like, how they...
You know,
They lost to Seattle in a
Bears got good
divisional
defense.
round game. They lost to the 49ers, of course, 27-0. And those 49ers just skunked them.
49ers are good.
They just had no answer.
Well, Matt, I don't know. I mean, you said to come up with an early thing, so I've got Vikings, 49ers for sure.
Okay.
Rams back in it for sure. Philadelphia, maybe Dallas, and I've got a toss-up between Atlanta, New Orleans, Green Bay, who I think New Orleans and Green Bay may be done. And I'm going to have to throw, I'm not decided on that last spot yet. Carolina with Brady and Newton working together. If it's anything like LSU, we can assume they're going to be pretty good.
Well, it's going to depend on how Cam responds to whatever he's got going on. And I'm not sure. I've not read very much about him at all.
I haven't heard anything about Cam Newton in a while.
I'm going to agree that the 49ers are definitely going to be back around. They were finished 15-4. Of course, they lost the Super Bowl 31-20. I like the Saints. We talked about them a little bit. The 49ers are going to have to go to the Cardinals, go to New England, Seattle, and the Saints, but they are going to have the Eagles and the Bills and the Packers at home.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a little thing that I'm going to end on. The Bills.
We got to do the AFC, yeah.
They're my little dark horse. I think the Bills are going to be better next year.
I think they will be.
They finished 10-7 last year. It was not great. They lost to the Patriots, the Eagles, Ravens, and the Browns, the Jets. They lost the wild card game to the Texans 22-19. But they got some new coaching stuff. Quarterback play has always been fairly decent up there. And I think, did they trade the running back, the Bills? Who's still running the ball up there?
Singletary.
Okay, they kept him.
See, I haven't followed the Bills much in a
I
while.
watched them a little. The quarterback is still,
It's Josh Allen.
yeah.
He's pretty good.
And see, I liked him. I watched him
Play
come
in
out.
Wyoming, right?
Yes, I watched him come out of college. So, if you want to pick a dark horse team, I'll go with the Bills next year for maybe a wild card upset team.
Well, now, AFC side, I'm going to get real deep into this. Obviously, think the Ravens and Chiefs are going to be right back there. Patriots, I mean, don't fall asleep and think they're done. I think the Browns are going to go because they got the pressure off of them now. And they got a new coach. I
There you
think
go.
they're going to go. I think they'll go. And you'll find this interesting. I haven't made up my mind on who the sixth team is yet to make the playoff, but I'm going to predict that if Phillip Rivers goes to the Colts, that they make the playoffs.
He's still got some in the tank. Here's something interesting. Again, we thank everybody for tuning in. WDKR, Matt and Todd Show, Big Matt Diamondine, and Big Dog Mike's here, and Easy Money
They just got
sideline
here.
guys. Everybody's working hard and trying to keep all you guys up to date on news and stuff, and we love you, and we're having a good time doing this, man. This is a dream come true.
Yeah.
We're glad that y'all are watching or listening, however you're tuning into the show. Go on our Facebook and share our page. See comments, share comments and stuff, and get the word out.
Yeah, we want 'em.
Matt and Todd Show. If y'all enjoy what you're hearing, share it. Tell a friend. Spread it around, and we have advertising spots opening here and there, coming in every day. So we appreciate everybody for tuning in. I have to say though, with Jimmy G and his performance, it wasn't that bad in the Super Bowl.
No,
he did
well.
He didn't have a bad game. We talked about how he had a better percentage. I'm piggybacking off your idea of Tom Brady. Skip, did you see that where he was talking to Shannon about how it would be awesome for Tom Brady to finish at the 49ers? Have you seen that? Because he's from that area.
No,
I mean, he grew up right down the road. Skip's covering the game. Tom Brady's there as a little child in this picture. You know, I mean, he was there at one of the big games when the 49ers won. You know, one of the big, and he's got a picture of Tom there as a child. I don't see him dumping, getting rid of. That's just Skip. It's just something he just.
They does some wild stuff out there, and I understand it creates
conversation, which is good for us because we're getting talking about it right now.
But I don't think so. I don't think he's going to retire right where he's at. Breeze too, but I don't know. I just don't see him going anywhere, and I don't see the Patriots going anywhere. I'm talking about they're not done.
They're going to have to definitely crank it up and start getting some defensive guys in there if they're not going to play offense. It's obvious they're not going to recruit some offensive players. So we'll see what happens, Todd. Next week, we're going to be getting into some NFL draft stuff maybe. We're going to be kicking around some stuff about who is your favorite or who's the greatest college football player.
In your opinion.
Of all times. Easy Money had put some stuff out earlier.
Yeah.
Y'all guys go there and comment. Put your favorite college.
We might name a team, and you say who you think. Well, me and Matt will discuss it, you know. And it won't be top teams. We're not going to hit every one of them.
We're going to spread this out through the off season so we can keep loving football because we love football.
Nah, that's why we're doing. I mean, let's just be honest. That's our main.
It is. We try to keep you updated on other sports, but that's what's coming next week. Again, we thank you guys for tuning in tonight. WDKR.org. We love you. God bless you, and we'll see y'all one day next week. Stay tuned for live shots. We'll have something going on. Keep your eyes open, ears on the ground. Y'all have a good day, and
Happy Valentine's.
We'll catch y'all next week one day sometime. Thank you guys. God bless.